friends, welcome back. And today we're going to take a look at these two, okay? And here we take a look at the bones, the skeletons of public figures to help crack and crumble the illusions of really everything they've cast upon us and lift the veil and the scales from our eyes, okay? But please do not show hate to anyone, anywhere, for any reason. We don't know these people, so we definitely do not hate them. All right, now I have done these two before, but that was on my other page that went bye-bye. So we are going to look at them again, especially since she was recently pregnant and all those things, okay? Now, sorry guys, my sinuses are screwed, so if you have any natural remedies, please let me know. And please excuse me. Okay, so what can we see here? All right, we can see that Mrs. Beebs has that squared angular jaw and skull, deep set eyes. We're beginning to see a larger or a longer clavicle bone going on here, although not nearly as pronounced as some of the other ones we've seen. The arm hangs straight down. She's very liney, okay? And the Beebs has that more upside down egg-shaped skull with a bit of the closer set features, but again, not as dramatic as some of the others we've seen. Okay, here he was when he was younger, and we can see that upside down egg shape to the skull. Also, notice just that really soft look to him. He has that really feminine look to him. You could, with longer hair, you know, he would be a very beautiful girl, a really beautiful girl. Also, there is no apple that came from Eve, and his whole story is so tragic, like so many of these stars, and there are just so many issues with this whole entertainment industry at large. Now, here he is, and notice the V-shaped clavicles going on here. He's got the low set belly button, and the arms are kind of hanging out akimbo, out to the side, okay? Here again, we can see the V-shaped clavicle and the close set features. Also, we're beginning to see a curve to the spine, okay? And here we can see he's a bit curvy in the waistline area, the really low set belly button, again with the V-shaped clavicle. The arms hang akimbo, which means out and around the hips. Not straight down, but out and around, and that more upside down egg shape to the skull. Okay, let's go over the skulls. Females have the more upside down egg shape to the skull. Men have a larger, blockier jaw and skull, wider set eyes. Men have a brow ridge bone here that women do not have. I don't know why does it show. Well, you can see it, but it's hard to see. But anyways, men have a brow ridge bone here that women do not have, which means their eyes are deeper set, okay? And they have a more piercing gaze than women. Also, men have longer necks, longer and thicker necks. And men have a straight clavicle bone across the chest, and women have V-shaped clavicles, okay? Okay, men have a longer humerus bone from the shoulder to the elbow. Men have a straight spine. Women have a beautiful curved S-shaped spine. It curves at the top and at the bottom, okay, creating that S shape. Men have a taller, more vertical pelvis. And because there is a small angle between the pelvis and the femur, which is called a Q angle, their femurs come straight down, okay, with plenty of spacing between the two walking sticks, legs, okay? This causes them to walk knees punching forward like a toy soldier. Whereas women have a wider pelvis, a larger Q angle right here between the pelvis and the femur, which causes our femurs to be angled, bringing the knees close together, okay? So when we walk crisscross applesauce. Well, that's how I say it. But it's the inline football, essentially one foot in front of the other, okay? We have totally different gaits. There's obviously spacing between the two male walking sticks for the male anatomy, and we don't need that. We need wide pelvis for babies. Now, here at the beach, we can see Justin's beautiful curved S-shaped spine. It's curving at the bottom and rounding up at the top, okay? And over here we can see that Hailey is very liney, okay? She's quite liney. And we can see that thicker, more pronounced clavicle going across the chest, okay? And it appears her forehead is sloping backwards, but we will get that. And she has a long humerus bone from the shoulder to the elbow, where he has a short one. Now here he is walking on the beach, and we can really see that beautiful curvy Coke bottle-esque shape, okay? He has a very nice figure, and we can see the inline footfall. That angled femur is bringing that foot in front of the other one, okay? That's the crisscross applesauce. Also, his arms are hanging akimbo. I had to crop her out because her bottom's out. Now here's the Beebs 2.0. I don't know how anyone believes this is the OG guy, but okay. But notice this person still has that curvy shape, arms hang akimbo, and that more upside down egg shape to the skull. Now, this to me looks like Bad Bunny in a mask, but I don't know, I could be way off here. Now, let's talk about Hailey, okay? This picture is so creepy. The whole thing is so creepy, and like he said himself, he thinks it was an arranged marriage, and it seems that way, and she was installed to handle business, handle the product, get a good handle on it, if you know what I'm saying. That's just my opinion. But we're going to get to this character at the end. Now, she had a really soft, like, kind of almost angelic look to her when she was younger. Since she's had more work done, it's given her a much harder appearance. Now here she is with Mr. Mendez, and here we can see that really angular, square, blocky skull, deep set eyes, the longer clavicle bone. But again, as I said, that's always a secondary trait, guys. It is secondary, but it's something you can begin to stack, as I often say. Here is a good example of arm hanging straight down, arm hanging akimbo, okay? Straight down, akimbo. Here we can see that super thick sternocleidomastoid tendon, again with that really angled jaw, and that really short forehead, which we're starting to notice a pattern here, and the skull is sloping backwards. Again, here we can see the skull is sloping backwards. It's not flat or come straight down, it is sloping backwards. Now, due to this Q angle I was talking about right here at the hips and pelvis, when women go down the stairs, we must open our legs wide to descend, and men go straight down, kind of knees together, knees punching forward. We open wide, men go straight down. Okay, here we can see that straight clavicle bone going across the chest, and she's stepping down, knees together, okay? Stepping straight down. Now here she is walking. There's plenty of spacing between the two walking sticks. That's knees punching forward like a toy soldier. Here we can see the really long arms, the straight clavicle, the angled jaw, deep set eyes with that piercing gaze. She's also standing like this in stilettos, which I've talked about in many other videos. Here she is walking again with the knees punching forward like a toy soldier with plenty of spacing between the two walking sticks. The arms hang straight down and are really long. Here we can see that super straight spine, okay? It's not curving, it's just straight with the piercing gaze. Also notice that long humerus bone from the shoulder to the elbow, and just long arms in general, but of course she is very beautiful, okay? Here we can see he's got the inline footfall, the crisscross applesauce. She has plenty of spacing with the knees punching forward like a toy soldier. Again here, plenty of spacing, knees punching forward like a toy soldier, the inline footfall, long arms. But I love that dress, that's so 90s. Look at those who belong to the synagogue of Satan, who claim to be Jews but are liars instead. Jews are ones inwardly, okay? It's not how we think of them today. And synagogue in the Greek means a gathering. The Satan means adversary. Gathering of the adversary is warning you against those who are outwardly pious, okay? I'm not buying it. Inline footfall. This symbolism indicates a program. There's something darker going on here. But that's just my opinion. You don't need to believe me. I'm just a silly lady on the internet that says bones don't lie. People do. Bye.